Hello, welcome back to another episode of Charla Football. I'm your host, as always, Gerardo, and with me, I'm happy to bring on the Futbol Asada guys, Chris, Andre. Thank you guys for helping me out in this video. I'm happy to talk La Selección, always with you guys. First off, how are you guys doing?
Doing good. Just got New Mexico jersey, so life can't be better right now.
You have to show off the back though, if you can. Show off
Ah,
the back.
fuck.
Clean, bro.
Doing good, bro. I know it's been a while. I think it was like a few months ago we did our last video together, but happy to be back.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining. And of course, we're going to talk about the friendlies coming up, Switzerland and Turkey. Before we get even start talking about the Gold Cup, these are the two most important matches, and we're going to see a lot of players, a lot of surprises as well. So I guess first things first, let's get into the roster. Who do you guys think were the biggest misses? Who were you guys happy that was there? I'll kind of go quickly through the list. The goalies, Malagón, Rangel, Ochoa, I guess kind of straightforward. Sanchez, Reyes, Montes, Vasquez, Chiquete, Gallardo, Mateo Chavez, and Julian Araujo for defenders. Midfielders, Edson, Charlie, Lira, Luis Chavez, Gil Mora, obviously a big surprise, and then Marcel Ruiz. And then the forwards, Piojo, Alexis Vega, Pineda, Huerta, Santi, Raul, Angel Sepulveda, another surprise, and then Quiñones and Efrain. So out of these guys, who do you guys feel are like the biggest surprises in this list?
I would say like the good surprises for me were Marcel Ruiz. I mean, he shouldn't even be a surprise. Like he's one of the best, if not the best, Mexican midfielder in Liga MX.
Yeah.
So he should always be there. But like we've been seeing, he's been getting snubbed for I don't know how many months now. So it was a good surprise to see him. Obviously, another good surprise was Gil Mora, 16 years old. I mean, like we're known as a national team that doesn't give youngsters opportunities. So the fact that we have a 16-year-old in our roster for an official tournament is crazy, and I love it because if this is a preview to the World Cup, like there's a good chance he'll be there in the next summer. Like his trajectory is only going up. So if he has a good showing, that'll be good. And then I would say like negative surprises, not really surprises, but
I guess
our biggest miss is like what were we saying?
There like would be like the upsets that were left out, right?
Yeah, like I would say like the biggest miss. I mean, obviously like Huescas or like Montiel, but they're obviously both missing for a reason. Not like I think if Huescas didn't get arrested and wasn't doing his 20 days house arrest, and then if Montiel wasn't at the Club World Cup, I think they'd both easily be here.
Definitely.
But besides that, I think the roster is pretty much as good as it gets.
How about you?
Yeah. I have no complaints. The players that I wanted to see here that didn't make it, they're not here for a reason. It's not that they got snubbed or anything. So I'm happy with the team. Probably would have preferred another midfielder instead of Charlie, but
Yeah, of course.
he's always gonna be there. So gotta accept it at this point.
What I really like, or actually what I don't like, was the inclusion of Ochoa. And I get it, like they're trying to prepare him for his sixth World Cup. I think he's gonna be at the World Cup because how can you take that away? Like it's such a historic feat. Only one, or yeah, I mean no one's ever done it, but it's gonna be between him and Ronaldo being like the first ones to do it. But like at least for the Gold Cup specifically, I would have liked to see Alex Padilla. Maybe not playing, and I know like in the league he's kind of been iffy, but he's just the player with the most trajectory because he's obviously so young, like thinking like long term. Like it would have been nice to see him at least get some more time, like training with like Malagon, with Rangel, under Rafa, under Javier El Vasco Aguirre. Like it would have been nice to see Padilla over Ochoa. I get why Ochoa is there though. Ramon Juarez to me was also like a big miss. I know like recently he's kind of not been getting as many minutes because Kevin Alvarez was playing at right back. Isra has been playing like right center back, and then Cáceres as well has been playing good for America. So Ramon Juarez has been like in and out of the America squad. But I would have loved to see Ramon Juarez because I mean when I saw him play against Internacional and against River Plate, I mean Internacional specifically, that match he was key. He was such a good player, and we know that for America he's been such a baller too. So I would have liked to see at least those two guys. Other like I'm talking about like the other people that were cut off, like Purata, Jeremy Marquez, Tiva, Emilio Lara, Henry Martin, Angulo, and Lozano, obviously missing out because of injury. But those other four, I feel like they're not really big misses. I don't know, honestly, I don't even know why they got called up in the first place. Because like, yeah, they can play these two friendlies coming up, but it's like I feel like you're just giving these players false hope. Like that they're not going to go to the Gold Cup at all. So it's like, why are you calling him up in the first place? I mean, some of these guys, like looking at like Actually, never mind. Maybe Alex Padilla, the only guy that I'm thinking about, like, kind of got snubbed from this list. Like, he could be playing the Maurice Ravello tournament, but he is training at the Gold Cup or training for these friendlies, and then obviously he's going to be left out for the Gold Cup. I think it's kind of like fucked up, in my opinion.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't gonna make it. If I had to choose between Ochoa and Padilla, I'd go Ochoa 100%. Padilla's not that good, and he had a pretty underwhelming season at Pumas. Yes, he's way younger, but am I gonna go for a goalie that could potentially make history for Mexico? Or am I going to go for a 21-year-old goalie that I know for a fact should even be getting called up, but just because he's 21, he should be there? Nah, man.
The thing about the history thing is, do you want Ochoa to make history?
Yeah. Just get subbed in that third game. That third game just gets subbed in the last 10 minutes.
But, like, what if we can't afford that? Like, what if we need to win the third game?
Well, if we can't afford that, then it's a fracaso tournament anyway. There's no way you don't have 10 minutes in between the 3 games in the group stage to use Ochoa to break that record. You mean to tell me we're going to be getting smacked all 3 games?
Like, it really depends on how
they're all close games. You can't just sub out a goalie.
No.
Yeah, it depends how we do in the group stage. Because, like, yeah, I wouldn't risk it, just to give someone a personal.
That's why I said, like, the third game.
The thing is, Ochoa doesn't actually need to play for there to be a record. Because the only ones who, let's just say next year, right? The only 3 that have been to 6 World Cups would be Ronaldo, Messi, and Ochoa. But Ronaldo and Messi actually played all 6. Ochoa, this is only going to be his 4th. So, like, he doesn't actually necessarily need to play. He just needs to get called up. Mm-hmm. But I personally would have gone Padilla. Again, I don't think it's a snub. Like, it's not a snub. Like, I'm not saying he deserved it over Ochoa. But I just think, like, if you're as your third string goalie, like, why do you need someone who's, like, going to be 40? Like, but if anything, that third string could be like for someone to get experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but the thing is, he doesn't deserve it. And if you look at the countries and clubs around the world, the third string goalie is usually the oldest one. Look at that Man City, Scott Carson. Many World Cup teams in the past, they just take an old ass legend as their third goalie because they're not even going to use him. It's just like a why not? It's not like there's anyone clearly better than Ochoa. There isn't right now. There really isn't. If there was,
for me, it was just more the experience. I would like the younger goalie, like that is going to be part of the future. Like, gets more experience.
Yeah, that's the way I see it.
Again, I don't think it's a snub though. Like, I don't think Padilla has like been like amazing or anything.
No.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I just think Ochoa just hasn't done enough recently to be there. I mean, I guess he's playing in Europe, but I mean, he was in one of the worst teams in Portugal. So it's just, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's not a snub, like you said. Maybe I was over exaggerating when I said it was a snub, but I just would have liked to see someone younger get that experience for sure. Now, overall, like looking at the roster, like to me, I think it was almost a perfect roster besides the whole Ochoa thing, but that's just more of like a personal bias looking at it. I would probably give it a 9 out of 10. What would you guys rate the roster?
My 8, 9.
Because it's like one of the first rosters where you feel like this is the best we got almost.
Yeah, I feel like this team should easily win the Gold Cup, and we should win every game convincingly too. Like, even if I feel like if we even have a B team, like we could field the B team, I think that B team should win it too. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, I would give it a 9. This is the first time in a while where I don't feel like, oh my god, like how did this guy not make it? Like, you've seen with previous managers, like, oh, why didn't Santi make it, or why didn't Marcel Ruiz make it? Why didn't this guy make it? Why didn't this guy make it? Like, no, this time was like the first time there was like no controversy. Like, everyone that could make the list made it. Again, there's like obviously guys like Montiel, Huescas, Chucky, but like they're all out for like certain reasons, like either injured, your Prison FC, like Rodrigo Huescas, or like Montiel Club World Cup. But like besides that, like we have the best of the best available. And yeah, I agree with Andre. I think we should win the tournament. I mean, like, look at the U.S. The U.S. arguably only has like 2 players in their whole starting 11, which is like the Turner and Chris Richards. Canada's missing their arguably
Davies.
Davies, their best player. Like, Mexico should win the tournament, and anything less would be a disappointment. But like, I am optimistic about the tournament just because the roster is very, very good.
Same, me too. Honestly, like, it's something that, I mean, we're not playing anyone out of the ordinary. I mean, it's all the same teams that we've been facing, that we've pretty much have given a beat down to in recent years. Maybe the only one that I feel like would give us somewhat of a struggle is Piojo Herrera's Costa Rica. But at the end of the day, like, we have way better talents than Costa Rica do. And then, like, even looking towards, getting to the semifinals, finals, all that stuff, like, we should be beating every single team that's in front of us, even a USA team that don't even have like their best players available. But then just looking at what we have in front of us, Switzerland, Turkey, two selecciones that we know have been surprising in the past few years, especially at the Euros. They got to the quarterfinals, each of them. Switzerland, the way they did it is knocking out Italy, the reigning champions of the Euros, and then they didn't even lose to England in the quarterfinals. They tied 1-1, and then they got eliminated on PKs. So it wasn't like they were clearly the worst team or anything like that. It was just what happens in football, right? And I mean, but recently, after that happened, their form has been kind of going downhill. Yeah, they got a win against Luxembourg, but they only have the last 8 games played, they've got 4 losses, 2 draws, and then just that 1 win. So I feel like since this is gonna be the first game that we played, I think we should be easily winning this match at least 2-1.
I think we both went for a draw.
Yeah, I personally see it as a draw as well. I don't know. Switzerland's kind of tricky. Like, historically, we're not very good against them. I think we've only beat them 1 time, and that was like in the 60s out of like 6 games that we've played them. And then, like, they probably still have more players, or maybe at least the same amount in a combined 11. And then their midfield is much stronger than ours. But we are technically kind of playing at home. Like, the U.S. is pretty much a home game.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll lose. But, like, maybe the first game you might test a lot of things out. So I would say maybe 1-1 in that game. 1-1.
Yeah,
go for it.
I think I went 2-2, but now Switzerland called up a lot of their good players. Shaka and Doi, Mbolo, Rodriguez, Kobel and net, Akanji. So it's gonna be tough, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about getting these friendly matches against bigger teams before the Gold Cup and the World Cup.
Yeah, that's the main thing, is just getting to test out our players against better oppositions. And I mean, the reason I just see it as a win is the home advantage obviously counts in our favor, but then also just the poor form that Switzerland have been in. I mean, defensively, they've been shaky. They've received 16 goals in the last 8 games. So I feel like this is a game where we have to score at least 1 goal. So I kind of agree where you guys are saying, we're both teams score, because it's not like we have the best defense in the world. But I think me just being hopeful, I can see us getting at least 2 goals and maybe even a win in this situation. But yeah, Switzerland definitely is going to be a tricky, especially if they're going to bring in their best players in that first game, which I see both teams playing with their best for that first game, maybe resting those key players in the second match. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess we'll see what happens with that. And then with Turkey, that's where I feel like my expectation is a little lower, because Turkey in the Euros, they were like an underdog, right? Everybody saw them. We probably thought they deserved a little bit more, maybe even making it to finals, to the semifinals. But they got eliminated to Netherlands, rightfully so. But since then, they've just been winning out games. Besides that 1 match they lost against Montenegro, so it's not like they're playing the best teams in their Nations League group. They're playing teams like Hungary, Wales, Iceland as well. But I feel like this is a match where we're going to be tested the most than compared to Switzerland, because Turkey is a team that plays so aggressive, and watching them play the Euros, I feel like they're just they have a slight, little bit more grit than I feel like what Switzerland have. Switzerland are more technically maybe a little bit more gifted because they have some of the best players playing in the best leagues in the world. But Turkey's playing with a bunch of players from the Turkish league with a point to prove. So I feel like this is going to be where we're going to be tested the most.
I think I think I'm more optimistic about the Turkey game. I think that one I have us winning 2-1. Yeah, I think Switzerland might be a better team right now. Based off the players they have, Turkey's missing. I didn't really check. I know they have Guler. I know they have Yildiz. I didn't see if they had Çalhanoğlu though. and a
I
couple
saw
other
Charlafootball
players.
on the Wikipedia, but I'm not sure if he'll
Yeah,
be the
but
same.
I don't know. I think I have more. I think we have a higher chance of beating Turkey than Switzerland.
yeah,
But
and
the
like
Turkey game might be. It won't be as much home field advantage though. It's like in North Carolina or something.
there's a lot of Mexicans over there though.
You think so?
Yeah, for fact.
I think both teams are kind of even, like Switzerland and Turkey. Like they both
Yeah.
have their strengths and weaknesses. But I'm just a little more optimistic that Mexico might beat Turkey. Like if they're gonna win one of the games, it would be them. Just because I feel like something about Turkey, bro. Like every time I believe in them, they fraud. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and when I don't believe in them, they
They
don't
do
do
good.
very good. Like right now, like I'm like, damn, they're actually a very good team. They made the quarterfinals of the Euros. So then, right when they have you hooked, is when they disappoint you.
Mhm.
Like they're almost kind of like Mexico in a way. So like I feel like I'm expecting a lot from them. So then maybe like I'm kind of like doing the opposite and be like, you know what, we'll probably beat them because I expect so much from them. And then I feel like um yeah, like and I feel like we might prioritize the second game slightly. Like kind of like the first game, I think I'm not saying we're not going to prioritize, but like I feel like he'll test things out. And then the Turkey game, he's like, all right, from what I saw in the first game, this is my starting lineup that I'm gonna use for the Gold Cup with the subs. Let's see how it works, like against a team like Turkey, like kind of like the final tune-up game. So I feel like more starters would probably play against Turkey. That's why I'm a little more optimistic in that one. I think I also went 2-1 as well. But again, they're very even. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it's the other way around. Like if it's
Yeah,
we
yeah,
beat Switzerland, tie Turkey, or fuck, we might even lose both. Like both these teams are like not that bad. Like they're very arguably top 8 in Europe because they both made the quarterfinals at the most recent Euros. You know, so
yeah. I have it as a draw. I have it 2-2. I think there's gonna be goals for sure. I mean, even if you think about it from set pieces, I feel like Turkey would be so dangerous because they have two like really good players on the ball, like from the dead ball spot. Looking at players like Çalhanoğlu and Arda Güler, and I feel like that is something they could definitely take advantage. But yeah, overall, I completely agree. Whereas like it can go either way for both teams. They're kind of like within the same level. I think we can compete easily with both against both these teams. Which one's gonna be the win? Which is gonna be the draw or loss? I don't know. But the only reason I see us winning the first game more likely than the second one because I feel like we're kind of like countering what you guys said. I feel like Mexico's going to go with the strongest starting 11 now versus closer to the Gold Cup because I feel like if you start with the best 11 closer to the Gold Cup, there's the risk where like maybe someone gets injured, or like a Chapito Montes like situation happens where like the someone like you're so
yeah.
excited to see like Gilberto Mora like starts from the and then fucking I don't know, just worst case scenario, right? Something happens to him like an injury. But that's where I see like I'm more inclined to say like this first game is going to be the most important game because I could see also for Turkey when they play against Mexico, it's also going to be their second game. They're going to play against US first, so maybe like resting key players before like they go back home or wherever they have to go for Turkey, and then for Mexico going to the Gold Cup, resting key players too. So I don't know.
That's true.
As in for Mexico, what do you guys expect from Mexico? For me specifically, I just expect to see like the best lineups in both games. I know I'm saying that they're probably going to rest key players, but what I would want to see is them to start with key players on both matches. Like take both these matches like fucking serious because like when we're playing against Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, Saudi Arabia, whatever, or Suriname, they're not going to test us the way these two teams are going to test us.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would say what I want to see is I want to see Santi Jimenez score. Like this dude's going on 2 calendar years without a goal for La Selección. And I said it already, like, I don't even care how he scores, bro. You could score with the back of your head, like Chicharito. It can be a fluke. It could be a weird deflection. Just score a goal. Like, I feel like this guy just needs to see the ball go in the back of the net to, like, get some confidence. And that would be perfect. Like, doing it against, like, a very good team like Switzerland or Turkey. I'd give him, like, the perfect confidence heading into the Gold Cup. That's what I want to see, and I expect to see it, like, and I'm manifesting it.
I think I just want to see as many players as possible get minutes. Gilberto Mora, my guy right here, Cholo's legend already. Marcel Ruiz, we never get to see him play, and he's coming off great form, the best center mid in Liga MX last season. And even players like Alexis Vega and Quiñones, they're very good for their club, but when they play for the national team, they haven't been really replicating their form recently. So there's that, and yeah, even the bad players, fucking Charlie, Gallardo, have them play, and hopefully it's their last like convocatoria, their last summer on the team.
I'm kind of going off of what both of you guys said.
Hopefully.
Well, like I like having to see Marcelo Ruiz. Like I want to see him ball out. I want to see like him and Edson like as double pivots in the midfield. That'd be sick. You know, that would be such a good midfield. Maybe even Gilberto Mora right in front of them, like kind of playing as a 10 or like free roaming around. And then also going off of what Chris said, I want to see Santi score, but also like a link up between the two Jimenezes, not just score any kind of goal, but like have it being a goal. Like say if they both play together, which I feel like Vasco might, given off what we saw in the recent Nations League, I feel like he might just keep it something similar. That way it doesn't change too much. I want to see them link up for a goal. That would feed generations. That would be so sick to see. Like moving forward, seeing both of our Jimenezes, both of our world-class strikers, not world-class strikers, but like both of our best strikers going into the Gold Cup, looking forward to the World Cup, like linking up and actually like developing a partnership and some chemistry going forward. But that pretty much wraps everything up. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Andre, for hopping on. Make sure you guys subscribe to all the Futbol Asada content. I'll make sure to put the links down below. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, check all the platform links down below. I'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.